Hi guys, it's Steffi from the Novelty Corner. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Books Beside My Bed video. For those of you who are new here, I film one of these every week where I wrap up the last 7 days worth of reading, and for those of you who are very familiar with the series, welcome back. This is also day 16 of Vlogmas, and it is also going up late because 2 days ago I had surgery on my mouth and basically talking hurts. So we'll see how I get through this video. This is my reading week from the 8th to the 14th of December. I read a total of 3 books this week. I DNF'd a 4th book. 2 of those books were adult books, one of them was a young adult book. I read a total of 1,016 pages and my yearly reading total is up to 361 books. So I'm still on track to get to 365 books this year. It's just slowing down in December. I participated in one readathon this week. It was the Winter Magical Readathon hosted by G from Book Roast, and I'll talk about that when I come to the book. I'm going to try and keep this video very short and sweet today just because, yeah, I need to keep things short and sweet. The first book that I read this week was The Bromance Book Club by Lyssa Kay Adams. This came in my Bake Rate box and I absolutely adored it. It is a 2019 release from Berkeley and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The basic premise of this book is that there is a main character, Gavin, who is a professional baseball player, and he and his wife are going through a bit of a rough patch, and she basically wants a divorce, and he doesn't take it particularly well, has a bit of a breakdown, and then his friends recruit him to the Bromance Book Club, which is a book club for guys who are going through issues in their relationships, and they try and work out ways of salvaging those relationships by reading romance books. And in Gavin's case, they start reading a historical romance book. This book was delightfully fun and funny and entertaining. It is a second chance romance story with a married couple who have kids, and Gavin has to do a lot of growing up and realizing that he has basically been oblivious in his relationship for a very long time. The one thing I will say is that there's a whole lot of feminist talk that comes from unlikely sources in this book, so that can be a little bit interesting at times. I actually found it really entertaining and really enjoyable to read from the perspectives that it came from, but you know, take it as you will. Regardless, it was just a fun, easy read, and it was a great way to spend a Sunday afternoon on the couch, to be perfectly honest. Next, I read Bloodbound by Patricia Briggs. This is book 2 in the Mercy Thompson series. It is a 2007 release from Ace, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I started reading the Mercy Thompson book series because Leanne from Literary Diversions really likes it. It is a shifter urban fantasy story. Mercy Thompson is a walker and she can turn herself into a coyote, but this is also a world where there are werewolves and there are vampires and other magical creatures, including fae and whatnot. So in this second book, Mercy is called on to help a friend of hers who happens to be a vampire, Stefan, and Stefan has uncovered something sort of dark and mysterious and sinister happening that seems to be related to a new vampire that is in town, and then everything gets very dark and twisted very, very quickly, and Mercy finds herself having to try and sort out Stefan's mess. I love this world because there are so many different magical creatures living in this contemporary setting, which is why I like urban fantasy in the first place, and there's a whole lot of rules and politics and things that are going on in the background that just really flesh out the world, and I'm looking forward to picking up book 3 very soon. I read this for the Winter Magical Readathon. My challenge was to read an urban fantasy book, so this is what I picked for it, and I'm glad that I did. Then I read The Rift by Rachel Craw. This is a 2018 release from Walker Books, and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It is, well, I thought this was a sci-fi dystopian book, but it's kind of more urban fantasy-ish, really. It is a young adult book set on a mysterious island called Blackwater Island, and our heroine, Meg, is returning to this island after a period of being away from it. What we know is that she and her parents lived on this island, and Meg and her mother are estranged from her father as a result of something that happened there a long time ago, and Meg believes it was her fault. Blackwater Island is home to the herd, which is a collective of animals. I think they're kind of like deer, but apparently they have some magical properties or medicinal properties, and every so often the island is culled and pharmaceutical companies come in to try and reclaim what they need from the animals in order to produce their drugs and medication. Blackwater Island is protected by the rangers who ensure that the herd is not culled beyond sustainable limits, and Meg has always dreamed of becoming a ranger, but since she and her mother have left, she's not been able to follow through on that dream. But when she returns, she finds out that her childhood friend Cal, who had no real links to the Rangers, has actually become a ranger, and this causes some strain on their relationship. It was one of those books where I was very intrigued by the premise and I quite enjoyed the story. However, I also thought there was a lot missing because I had to try and fill in a lot of blanks, and I don't quite know where I sat with it in the end. So it was a good read. I enjoyed it, but at the same time I just felt like I was missing something. The fourth book that I attempted and then DNF'd was Fire and Heist by Sarah Beth Durst. This came in a fairy loot box and is a 2018 release from Crown, and I obviously DNF'd it. It is the story of wyvern shifters or dragon shifters. Sky Hawkins is the main character. She comes from a family of wyverns who have been disgraced, and wyverns, or the were-dragons, are descendants of actual dragon shifters, and apparently there's this very hierarchical society and they're sort of seen as very strange celebrities. But at the beginning of this book, Sky's family has been disgraced and her mother is missing. She lives with her brothers and her father, and they're trying to reclaim their family name. It's all about heists and gold and whatever, but I just didn't connect with it, and I just found Sky very whiny and, you know, desperate to get back with her ex-boyfriend who split up with her after her mother disappeared, and it's just YA convoluted fantasy, and I was not feeling it, so I put it down. So those are the books that I read this week. I'm not going to pick a TBR pick for the week because I've just got to try and get through things that are already on my current TBR for the end of December. Also, I need to get myself back into a headspace where I can read and where I'm, you know, not taking painkillers every couple of hours because of surgery. So let me get through this week and then we'll see how I go. But I'm really excited because I just saw an announcement for the Kindle Unlimited readathon that's taking place from I think the 27th until the 29th of December. So I'm looking forward to that. I've got one more week of teaching left for the year, and then I've got 5 weeks off, and I think it's going to be good. I think I'm very, very tired at the moment. So apologies if this is a very weird, random books beside my bed video. Hopefully it's going to be pretty short. It's been a weird sort of weekend, and I think I need more sleep than I've actually gotten. In the comments below, let me know if you have read any of the books that I've read this week, or if you are planning on reading them. Alternatively, let me know what you have been reading over the last 7 days. I hope that wherever you're in the world, you're having a wonderful day. I'll see you guys tomorrow in my next video, but until then, have a great day. Bye guys.